I know I just surprised you with my traditional attire and everything. It's a Friday, but then who says it can't be O1 Fridays? In any case, welcome. It is the Black Table here. My name are, do I start from my left or my right? Everyone needs a deck in their life. Mr. Deck in the house once again.
Zeno.
Good to have you here, man. So I think that thing is going to...
Brought us here.
It is my table as we convene. And of course, to my left, Mr. Olamide Jean-Luc. Yes, he made it through last week, even after all the revelations.
Face to sleep.
Good
You
to
slept
have you
out.
back.
I slept out. Boy, you didn't sleep on the bed.
Last week, this guy was all cylinders, man. It was just going mission.
I know. I imagine so. It's bad.
Involved in it. Thank you. Thank you. Accept.
Good to have you here, man. Whatever happened to the dreads? Last time they saw you on the show, you had the dreads.
Oh yeah. So I got tired.
Oh, you're not running from anybody?
No,
Maybe
me.
owe somebody money?
I mean, if I can run towards money, show me where they are running towards money.
Show me the money.
We have a very interesting conversation here. Coming off of the case of Eva Nelson. When I am medicine. Eva Nelson.
I think I really like to, you know.
Everybody knows the medicine now.
You always take the bill on the first date, second date, and third date. Bro code.
And you're welcome back. It's time for our very first topic for today. Quick fire number one is off of Instagram, a very interesting story. You might have seen it, maybe had even a conversation with your colleagues at work about it, but this time on the Black Table, we get to go in-depth, no holds barred. This is a message sent by a man. He says, I'm going to euphemize. What's my something? Carry and go do test. Or more, it was HIV positive. He says, I sharp take PEP. 6 months now, I'm HIV negative. Thank goodness. True story. Whether he's the one or that, you know how it goes. But have you ever had such a scare before in your entire... I want to start... So I used to live in Abuja. I had just left Lagos for Abuja, and I got a call. I was a very young man at the time. I think I must have been 23 or 24. And I got a call from...
Oh.
I have told this story a million times on TV.
Yeah.
I think maybe once or twice on TV, but let me tell it again today. I was driving to Abuja, it's like 6 lanes. Is this where it all ends?
Is this it?
So I spent the next couple of years not checking, 1 year actually, not checking my status because I just said to myself, you don't get... I wasn't here. My plan was to perhaps maybe before I'm 26 off myself. So yes, at the time I was suicidal. I think this is the first time I'm admitting this on live television.
Wow.
I said just for the sake of knowing, just go. It was a Thursday. I went over to the National Hospital for my for my HIV test, and we did the test. I came back on Friday. All the girls I had been with were flashing my head. There was Keisha, Letitia, Shaniqua, you know, like the DMX track.
No.
I got to the VTC. Waiting. Ridiculous. Eventually came back on Tuesday, went over to the office, met the nurse there who went over to get my result, came back. The next words that came out of her mouth. Well, the drugs are not expensive. Oh. Jesus. Oh. I was. And I'll never forget the relief. It was negative. I went back to work and I resigned the next day. Fortunately, Sandra, my ex, is dead now, unfortunately. But I think she lived for 10 years after then. And she was a very exciting, very beautiful woman. Don't do it.
Okay. Don't do what?
Don't
Stay
celibate,
guys. Don't do what?
Stay celibate.
No.
Don't do it. Look at the trouble you could get yourself in. Have you ever had a scare?
No.
You've never had a scare?
Why? Okay, so I've never, because
test yourself if you're always strapped.
So I think for me, it's not just the thought of, oh, I could possibly get HIV from sex. I mean, going on, I just need to know what is going on.
Back to the story here. This lady that seems to be sharing it about. Do you think that there are actual people like this who know?
To understand the mentality behind it or how to handle it. So there are loads of people out there who do not share their status out of being stigmatized. Feel, oh, I might have something, but are too afraid to check.
So you know, the thing
continue
is,
with their regular lives.
so you know the thing is, you know, in Nigeria.
I went to South Africa recently.
So he calls me.
He knows what.
All right, so he calls me and says,
I know why too.
And says, "Yeah, how far now? Your side?" I said, "I do." I was obviously not going to be with anybody, right? But the thing is, the stigma followed me to South Africa. What the people in South Africa don't feel that.
Is it Magic Johnson still?
You know that?
You do, yeah.
You can actually.
They take their pills.
You can actually be with somebody. You can actually skin dive with a babe that has HIV.
I will not.
No.
narrative on national television, okay? Please be careful. You don't, no. If you can't stay celibate, then please, you know what you need to do. Well, I preach celibacy in
Of
any
course,
case.
you know. Today, sir, anyway,
I'm celebrating today.
Celebrate good times.
No. So you know the thing is, you know, let's not sway away from the issue.
Yeah.
The guy's guardian angel was not sleeping. You know, as the thing was coming like this, the guardian angel was pushing him back. That guy, don't
Tell you
finish
what,
this
man.
guy.
We got more topics to talk about here. Pay bills. We're not wired like that.
So that's the thing.
Is this? You think that this is she correct?
So that's the thing. So it's a thing of an idea. No. Hold on. I'm not saying. Wait. Hold on. No. Understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's right for you to drink and drive. It's an idea. It's something that has been sold to her from childhood, I suppose, or at some point in her life. Do you understand? But I have seen. All right. If you meet a feminist and you tell her, "Oh, please let me pay for your drink or let me pay for your food," it's a problem. So it's a thing of orientation. It's a thing of like.
Let me just put it this way.
You know, ideologies.
There's a poverty alleviation program that we the gentlemen of I can't mention it on now, guys.
Okay,
let's chill.
You can't mention it, but you can mention your slogan.
But more
Their
seriously.
slogan is they don't give shishi.
So where are you going? Where do you
I think women generally do not want to spend.
do not want to, or are they wired to?
Do not.
Are they
want to
wired
spend.
to?
Nobody's wired to be.
Can I show? I am conditioned to be the one who provides. I will continue to say that.
You grew up to
yes,
understand.
and I don't see anything bad in it.
And I feel
it's an idea I don't believe in.
who's
I don't feel whole.
That's an idea.
Do you agree with me?
No, I understand.
So
That's what
you
you
said
believe
women
in.
are not wired to
They're
spend,
not
right?
wired.
I think the are raised to
Especially in
understand
Africa.
that you're a protector, you're a provider. You already see it in your father, and if you didn't grow up with a father, at least you grow up. I.e. money.
Yeah.
The woman, the wife, now takes that money. She's the one who goes to the markets.
Yeah,
She's the one
your
who says,
money,
you know
not
what?
hers.
Your money, of course. You know what? We need to change this in the house. This is not. Literally go to his wife or his woman and say, I need you to handle this without giving her what to handle it with. Even as a child, so we can do this.
I mean, I appreciate what you said, but you know, we can look at it from various perspectives, right? We can look at it from the cultural perspective. We can look at it from this person should take control of certain things, right? It doesn't say that a woman cannot do stuff.
Okay. So
It also doesn't say that a woman.
that particular lady. Now she says that women are not wired to pay bills.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are women now wired to do? My point is this. My point is this. The fact that men take care of so many things
Yes.
doesn't mean that we're entitled to being reckless. So
was said in their messages on the show. Do remember, use the hashtag #TheBlackTable on TVC. We'll revisit that, I promise you. Let's take a quick short break now. When we get back, we have other topics we want to touch.
Second date and third date. Bro code.
It's the 7 of 7 day and the 9th on the social experiments called the 7 of 7. It's Owen G. What is the name, or what was the name? You see, I want to make them better now.
Rock Heart.
No,
That's the
of the goats when they brought it on stage.
The name of that goat.
Yeah.
We should go there.
No, that one easy now.
I'm just drinking this so that I can ask him my own questions. It's not because of
Buga.
he didn't get it. You know, you know. Okay. Mention 10 female stand-up comedians in Nigeria. See, just mention their stage name. If you annoy me, you will mention their real names and the year they started. And if you annoy me further, you mention the names of their husbands and the names of their children. Try me now. Okay, mention their name.
No, let's just.
No, wait. No, don't. No. Name, real name, stage name, husband name, children name. 10 of them.
Even the 10. That's a lot.
Eh?
That's a lot.
Did I cut your question for you?
Yes.
When you were happy now. Elelele buga with your hunchback.
That was it.
Elelele buga. You are wasting time. We don't have time. See, my brother, before we go on a commercial break, you are stubborn. And I told you since. The fact that you play this your hair does not mean, you understand? See this bad hair you are looking at. It's experience. I've suffered before you.
But I try now.
Were you there during the military era of Abacha and Babangida? You know what happened?
I be Gen Z.
So that
I
Gen
try and
Z,
I call for
I will remove 4 out of 10.
Well, these guys... Let's move on to our next topic. It's still the Black Table here. Thank you very much for using the hashtag #TheBlackTable on TVC. Mazzino, Mr. Jean-Luc, of course, Dick, and Mr. Dowda. Okay, sorry, Dion in the building. Now, our quick fire number 3. This is very interesting here. My colleague, this is a tweet, by the way. My colleague said she gives her husband permission to cheat. Hang on. She even buys condoms for him. She even said if a girl seduces him, he should go ahead and sleep with her. Her husband traveled for 2 weeks. He expects him to be another woman, to be with another woman, I think she's trying to say, and because blood runs through his veins. God, I beg. Have you ever, you're not married, I'm going to come to you last, but have you ever thought of the concept of an open relationship with your own wife where it's like, go out, dearie, I know you're a man, come back. Anyone? Any takers?
Okay.
The question.
You people are thinking too hard.
No, I'm not even thinking about it.
Wait.
Okay.
You ever been in an open relationship? It's much.
Yeah.
I think it's something that
So at some point to me, it was fun, but like a little after, I got to understand that it happened because of the mental state of the person that I was with at the time.
Explain.
She wanted to have control over the power of me possibly cheating. Now, truth is I never did, at least in that relationship, you know. And because she was wired that way, most likely from previous relationships, she wanted to control it happening. So this is how it started, right? First off, she's like, you know, let's go out somewhere. I'm like, cool, yeah, we can go out anywhere. Sure, we'll go and chill. And then before I know it, she's talking to a babe where we go, and to me, like, just making friends and stuff. Next thing, you're bringing this person to where we are, introducing the person to me. All of a sudden, it's not past time for you to introduce new people to me for no reason. I'm like, okay, whatever, man.
Wouldn't that be another gentleman's happy hour? I mean, I'm wondering how this is a problem for.
It now graduates to bringing people over.
What you should be worried is when she says, "There's this guy I want to bring over for you."
So that one never happened, and thank God.
That's like the devil's threesome.
With the kind of things that happened in that house,
Really? I wonder who you date.
You know what?
I've been in a threesome.
Wait,
I've been in a foursome.
Okay, TMI.
Oh, okay.
I'm being honest, right?
Married men don't like these experiences
people
by
she was
single
We don't
men.
do things like
Here's,
that.
here's the catch with it. It happened one time with that person, and I never, I promise you, I
just
never
changed
had
the way you
direct contact
see-
with that person.
It changed the way you see her,
have
didn't it?
They have a way of doing that.
It kind of made, at first, in my mind, I thought it was like a one-time thing the first time it happened.
Okay.
But this happened like five times.
And that, yeah, that
my mind, I was
has
like,
its effect.
Okay.
So let me ask you a question. So
Very
if I-
funny, yeah?
So
Listen,
I'm gonna
yeah,
say
but-
this. I'm gonna say
before,
this.
let me add this too.
Okay.
What
Okay.
if it's the case of a pregnant wife who's like, Oga, I'm holding you back too much. Go ye
So let me
and
tell you
make
something.
merry.
What you must understand is that I don't think there are pregnant women who would ever tell their husbands
Yeah.
to cheat. Because first and foremost,
You don't think?
put me in this position.
Oh, I want to tell you a
You are
story.
not going to do that while I'm in this condition, right? So now going to you, Dion, you must
young
also
man.
you must understand.
No,
you must understand.
no.
Hold on. You must understand that if a lady tells you that, dude, cheat on me or be with someone else, you need to look at it deeply and understand why or
Why it's that way?
what's going on
mentally, yeah.
mentally. Because a lot of the time, or should I say most of the time, you'd realize that that person is going through some kind of past emotion.
True. Exactly.
All right? And you also need to check deeply to be sure that you are the only one with that past.
Okay, so I was going to go there.
Let's hear
I
it.
was going to go there.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
So
let's
she's
hear-
telling
let's
you
hear
to
them.
cheat,
Yeah.
right? She's telling you to go and do your thing.
You know the funny thing?
I can assure you that she's probably with someone else as well.
Okay, so I think that
All right.
in this context, when we're talking about a married woman, asking or saying that it's okay for you
partner
to
should
go
go
out
out
because you're human, I don't think that relationship is real. I think generally human beings, we are jealous people.
No,
if you're really
women
into
are
it-
naturally
I'm
jealous.
just saying
people.
human beings, even as a guy,
Yes.
if you at the back of your mind you're trying to be woke and you're like, if my wife is in Canada,
Forget.
I'm here,
Forget.
and I will understand
You go feel
that
am.
she's feeling cold. No, you
go
will
feel-
not
you
understand.
go feel
will
am.
react.
You will
I
react.
know why you react, even
Yes.
though there might be justification, like me too, I stepped out or whatever. You will still feel bad about it, and that is why I'll say no. It's not right for any woman to say it's okay, because if you're giving me permission to step out and you're saying it's okay for me to do it, I can as well do any other thing. Because
correct.
that's not even
That's
the
correct.
biggest
And it won't
thing.
end there.
It's not
the
the
funny
biggest
thing.
thing.
I guess
It
it's a
never-
polite way
it-
of
it
saying
never
I
ends
want to do
there.
the same thing.
And guess what? I feel this particular woman
Right.
has inferiority complex. I think she's struggling
no.
I think
I
she's
don't
struggling
think-
with a lot of things
See,
because
so,
she's already made
Dion,
up her mind.
So I think I agree.
She's
She's already
doing
made
it
up her mind.
because
I think I
she's doing
agree.
it.
No, hold on.
No,
It's
but
like
she
a
I think
polite
I
way of
agree
saying
with
it's okay.
what Dion said. You see, there are some women that are control freaks. All right? Now, in a subtle way, I want you to understand that there are some women who don't want to be caught unawares.
Very true.
All right? They want to have peace of mind. So, what I would think is going to hurt me let me take control of it before it happens.
Because she already has some complexities, and I think it's an inferior complexity. Because if you think
I
that,
won't call it inferiority complex. No, I won't call it inferiority.
There are many women who hide behind that mentality, like, oh, it's a man's world.
No, so I would say that
because they know,
in fact,
they've not earned the right.
So
they know they've not earned the right to be able to say
that
this man, no, you cannot step out on me.
I'm so sorry. So I would say that. Sorry, hold on. So I would say that is an alpha woman. A woman who can take control of her emotions and understand that I own you.
All right,
so I would tell you to choose or be with someone else.
No.
Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy woman.
That's a woman. Now, it's not easy to find women like that.
As usual, at the end of every show, we'll come back to this. Don't worry, when the messages come through. We're expecting your messages, by the way. Do remember now, hashtag Black Table on TVC. That's the Black Table on TVC. Use that hashtag so we can get your messages and come back to these stories, anyone you fancy. However, we do have our main topic, and I think we've got about 15 minutes to discuss that before we accept people's viewers' messages. So let's go ahead and take a very short break, and when we get back, we're going to be talking how much of your past or personal life should you let in on with a partner. We're taking a leaf off of the newly released book of Eva Nelson. Well, this is going to be very interesting. Let's go and come. We'll be right back.
Man.
Being validated by a man.
Yeah.
And now that consciousness is broken, she can speak and teach and all that. But frankly, man, this is just another
so funny that some of your colleagues are that way too. But
is this,
I mean,
is this another TM?
It's
close.
Is this another TM?
Close.
But
very close.
Very close.
Wait. How would
Okay,
you feel if your ex came out with a book telling about everything between you guys?
You know, I think Eva Nelson is such a very brave woman.
Brave?
Yeah, she's brave because I think it takes a whole lot of guts for you to come out and
speak about
articulate your life
your
and all the, juicy secrets of your life.
But
and
as
put
men,
it out
we
there.
articulate our lives every single
Wait, I still want to go somewhere.
Okay.
She really went into details about her, relationships with well-known celebrities. She really did a lot of name calling.
If she was reportable, she won't write about that.
Yeah,
I mean, she was going to tell the story, so she told it.
Yeah, and she told the story. At least that might not be the entire story, but at least she opened up a lot of her past experiences. I think it's bold. However, I feel that it's really about the book deal.
No, hold on.
Honestly, I feel it's about.
Let me tell you something. See, I'm coming. I'm gonna let you
So you might as well drop some slips for the money.
Listen,
I think it's all about money.
I know how difficult it is to sell a book. I don't even think most of the people who write books in Africa actually, especially in Nigeria, actually do sell these books. I think they rely on donations from contributors and all of that kind of thing. Now, for her to release a book, she wasn't going to start telling you about, roses are red and brown. She needed big name, hard-hitting
And
names to
there's
go
a
with the
reason
book.
why. There's a
Now
reason why I've
everybody's
said
talking
this.
about her
Yuva
because
Nelson was hot, big deal, a couple of years back.
So hold
She has since gone.
So wait, hold
So
on.
now
So
she
hold on,
needs
hold
that
on.
fame
So
all over
yeah.
again.
So I mean, I was gonna say what you just said now, but on a second thought, you see, a woman that stands alone and speaks about herself needs something. She wants something, right? You have to get to a position, or you have to get to a place where you can comfortably say, this and this is what has
course,
happened
yeah.
in my life.
Okay, listen, yeah.
Right? So my point is this. I'm so sorry. My point is, I beg to differ. I don't think this has to be about publicity or about the financials alone.
Okay.
Maybe it's part of it, right? But it
Let's
must
keep
have
that for a second, Dick.
it must have taken a lot to get to that place where she
Dick.
wrote about these things. Don't forget that she mentioned 2 heavyweights.
3. There was Cordia, there was Yanya, and there was, who's the
Who else?
third person? You read the book.
What's his name again?
What's his name now?
So there were 3 people
Yeah, there's
that she
about 3
mentioned.
people.
It's not easy
But listen,
to bring
let's
those people
leave
in.
the book
This
alone
fool
for a
will
second. Let's
respond
leave
now.
the book
Do you
alone and
understand?
Eva Nelson. Let's talk about the fact that, let's talk about the topic here. How much of your personal life would you let a partner know at this point in time?
Yeah.
Not even at this point.
A partner. What do you mean
your
a partner?
past. A person you are dating.
How
You're
much
gonna
about
be
your past?
dating-
Would you let your partner know?
Yes.
Someone I'm married
Even your
to.
partner
married to.
currently safe. How much of your past have you let your partner in on?
Past.
Olamide.
Okay,
How much of your past have you let your wife
I
in
think to a large extent, my wife knows about 50% of the old me.
on? 50%. Is that a
50%?
pass mark?
Yes, and
Is that
you
a
know,
pass
and-
mark?
No, it's not a pass mark, and that's because in time I've evolved from that person, and I do know for a fact
Does she
that
need to know?
I don't think anyone needs to know about your past.
If
you're
she
not that
does, would
person
anything
anymore.
change in between the
Sure.
two of you now?
I think when people know stuff about you, whether it's
Good or bad?
mostly negative stuff about you, it creates a perception of who they think you are. No matter, it's like a guy who starts a relationship, yeah? It's nothing serious. And then you tell the lady you're with that, in the past you cheated on your previous girlfriend.
She's going to look at you like,
Yeah, she's going to go like,
someone's going to cheat on me too.
And then, it leads to, is it a pattern? And then you go like, when I was a bit younger, I dated 2-3 girls at the same time. You understand?
You know
She's
I'm
going
laughing.
to look at you like,
Do you know
I'm
I'm
going
laughing? Do you know I'm laughing?
No.
Because we're in Dubai with my wife, and I said something to her that happened to me with someone I had, a fling with. This girl laughed so hard that she entered into someone's shop. As she entered into someone's shop, you know when you bust into someone's shop, and you're laughing hysterically, like, I'm like, seriously, I'm not going to tell you anything about my life here. Right? So the thing is this, depends on the person you're with, right? There's some people that allow you tell them about yourself effortlessly, without judging, without, using it against you. The kind of relationship that you have with your partner, goes a long way to, to tell the things that you say to them. All right? So for me, personally, I would say that I probably have told her, maybe 80%
Okay.
of stuff about me.
80%.
Do you
Because
understand?
another thing you must also
guys,
consider.
Yeah,
Another
yeah,
thing,
Let's clear
Another
this.
thing-
It's not about telling your partner
Yeah.
about yourself. We're talking about dark secrets.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's ask Dion.
You
So
want
how much
to-
of you have you
No,
told
no,
your
hold on,
partner?
hold on.
Hang on a
So-
second.
No, I
How much
wanted
of
to
you
say
have you
something
told
to
your
Ola.
partner?
Just
Just a second.
First off,
Yeah.
like, one of the reasons why I'm enjoying this conversation right now is because you guys are married. I'm not married
So you
yet.
don't need to tell Jack.
But like in my mind, I'm just like, wow, now they stunned too.
So you wouldn't tell anything. You think
First off, I need you to understand that the safest place in the world is actually the human mind.
Yes,
It's not
I
locks,
agree with
it's the
you.
human mind, right?
I agree with you.
Now, because of how safe and secure this human mind is, all you know is really all you know.
Oh, nobody
That's it.
else. Exactly.
It's not what
Until
she
you
knows.
tell it,
Yeah.
it doesn't
What you're
manifest
telling
into
her,
a memory
exactly.
or
What you're telling her.
Yeah.
Now, I respect each and every one of you, all of these marriages rather. What you're telling your wife, that she's laughing about, right there and then, that reaction is what you know.
Oh, wisdom.
So what is going on here
Wisdom is
afterwards,
in the house.
you have no idea.
Wisdom.
I
Love
enjoy-
you,
I-
King
For
Dion.
the fact that she's not even saying anything about it later, it doesn't mean you should worry. But truly, what you know is what you see. That's number one.
Okay, so
Now, for me, do I think it's okay to let your partner in on everything about your past? No. Notice the term when men say things like, oh, she loves me for me. She loves you for who you are, then and there.
For who she knows.
Now.
The person that you told her
Not
you
the
are.
person she didn't meet. Oh.
Yes.
The moment you start to, before you guys even go married, they spin her, take her out, tell her things. She's falling in love.
Once done is done, let's turn
And
the
then you
tables
get
around.
married, right?
How so?
That person she met up to the marriage, who you are now, that's who she really knows.
That's who she's in love with.
That's who she's in love
Okay,
with.
sorry, before you go,
Yes,
let's
please.
just turn the tables around. Now let's talk about our partners.
How much of them do we know?
How much of them do we know? How much of them are they willing to let you
I
know?
die, say,
Okay, imagine-
say
imagine-
woman, let you know 100%.
So imagine this, you know,
How much of your
age-long-
wife do you know?
That's the thing.
Yeah, I'm asking you.
I don't know everything, no.
Would you want to know?
Wait, let me
Do
be
you want
honest.
to know as
I
much?
do not want to
You
know.
don't want to know. Okay, so
Because-
that's the difference between
because
men and women.
The one I met was matured enough. She had made all the necessary
And you don't-
errors.
you don't
and
care
I'm
about-
fine
yeah.
with it. You understand? But I'm saying that there are certain things that men generally don't want to know. I don't want to know body counts. It's none of my business. You understand? If
I
a
wonder why
woman
guys
has
like
been
doing that. If.
No,
No,
guys
I'm just
don't
saying,
actually.
like,
Guys really
we
don't like
care.
body count.
But
No.
if we're talking about knowing people's past, and then you know, your partner, your wife, or you know, whoever you're with, starts talking about stuff like, so I've been with X, I've been with Dion, I've been with Deck, I've been with Gang, I've been with Mazino, I've been with Imagination behind the camera. There. I've been with, no. The truth is this: no matter how sweet, wonderful woman she is today,
Yeah.
it's going to swing your mindset towards her. You're going to have loads of questions like, okay.
Well,
is
hang
this
on a
person-
second. So you know 50% of your wife, or how much?
I think I do know 50% of,
And that's fine.
of her
How
past,
much
and
of
I'm
your-
fine with
you
that.
know
I don't want to
100%
know
of your
more
wife.
about that.
Well, the thing is, you know, nobody knows 100%.
Short answer, Dex. Short answer.
No, nobody knows 100%.
Short
And
answer,
wait, now,
Dex.
Masino,
How
I
much
wanted
of
to
your
say
wife do
My
you
something.
know?
brother,
How much
I
of
would
your past do
advise
you know?
you.
That's the
Don't
thing.
care if
Not-
you don't
I
know
don't know.
1%.
I
Love
don't
who
know.
you are with right
I don't
now.
know how many percent.
Don't care.
I'm
Right?
fortunate
But we
or
talk a lot.
unfortunate.
We gist a lot.
I'm fortunate or unfortunate to know 100% of my wife's life. She is that kind of a person, you know. I know
Like she exposes it all.
That's what you
yes, I
think.
know 100%.
Wait, hold on,
and
that's
my
what you
wife has
think.
been. Yes,
That's
that's,
what
what
you
I
think.
know.
That's
what
what
you
you
think.
That's what you think.
That's what
you
you
know.
think.
Very sure.
Bro, that's what
I'm
you
very
think.
sure.
You know what?
No,
There's a joke
let me
someone
finish.
made
I'm very,
recently.
very sure. I know 100% of my wife's
You only
life.
knew that
Now, how
she
much
follows
of
me on
me?
Instagram today.
How much of me does she?
You know how long your wife has known me on Instagram?
No, see, I grew up with my wife. How much of me?
That is
Does
100%. How you want to take no?
how much of me does she know? However,
Yeah.
I think perhaps 40%.
Okay, 40%.
40%.
Even
Less
worse than
than
And
yeah,
that's
not
40%
worse,
for
less.
our own
Where
good.
am I the yardstick here?
Less is not
That's
worse.
40% for our own good.
No,
40 minutes. That's it. For all good.
let me put
Wait,
it
let me
this
ask you a question.
Let me
Please, does she know about this HIV one?
way. Yeah, she does know about it. She knows about it. I've told the story to strangers.
And you know
before.
run. You know how to say whether you a joke. Eh? I said that thing was not possible.
It's a scary story. Anybody will be concerned. But here's the thing. Like something, I can't remember which one of you said it. The 40% of me that she knows
Yeah.
is all she needs to know. Whatever mistakes that I might have made in the past, I'm sure that I made amends and made corrections, and that's what made me the man I am today. That she discovered. That
You're
she got
Balaga.
married.
So wait. I was going to say, you didn't allow me talk. I was going to say that, you see, it's one thing for you to understand the things that you guys have done. Me, what I've done might not be as bad as what you guys have done.
Then, so I've known you for
So let me
say
know.
something
You
quick?
know,
Can I say
you
something quick?
I didn't do bad.
Let's listen to Dear.
You know, I've come to understand. So, first off, I didn't grow up with a brother. I grew up
Okay.
with women. I only have sisters.
Okay.
right? So, being with them actually allowed me to understand the networkings of
And the way they think.
female mind somehow. I don't know everything, though, just small. The man she knows today, that she gets to meet and everything, right? When you package that man, obviously with what she can see, when you package that man well enough, she's already working mentally on what that man can possibly be.
Sure.
Now, note, we're dealing with the most complex computer in this world, woman.
The woman mind.
Complex. The moment you introduce her to the man you used to be, which obviously you could have, we hope so, most likely graduated from.
Evolved, yeah.
That messes up that mapping she's doing already in her head.
Yeah, I
for
agree.
that man you are going
Very
to be.
true.
So if you ask me, obviously she will ask questions. She will inquire.
But it should be on a need-to-know basis.
You have to.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're listening to this right now. You're probably in a relationship.
I'm so sorry. I want to ask a question.
He will package
Just
what
one
he's
question.
telling you. He should.
I want to ask a question.
For his own good.
One question, guys.
Keep it short so we
Would
can go into the...
Would you prefer for your spouse or your partner to find out something about you?
So see,
that has
that's a
happened in
very
the past?
unfortunate part of life.
Or you would rather tell them who you are so that in the eventuality that they find out, I mean,
Okay,
I
like
have
in the
told you
case
already.
in the case of John here, has done orgies and
Oh, wow,
foursomes
I
and
said it
everything.
how many minutes ago? Why do you remember?
You think you should tell his partner?
If you
His
let his
potential
partner know,
that I've
okay,
done this
you know
and
what to.
I've done
I
this,
used to be a dog.
Wow. Hey,
But I'm matured. I have changed. So
I don't bark anymore.
I feel that there are certain things that you should let your partner know so that they understand your preference.
But you know something, on a very
Sorry,
funny
John.
scale, on a very funny scale, I believe that part of a partnership is the discovery of each other. I think that is also a big part of a relationship, and it adds to the quality of the relationship.
I like the way Zeno is.
If
He's using Oyibo to butter this thing up.
The
think
discovery
about
of
it.
each
Think
other.
about
I
it.
understand
If
this.
you discover 100% of your partner, you get married, what is there left to discover?
Exactly, and that's why I want to say something
So-
now. 10 years ago, 20 years ago,
For that
anyone-
than when you got married.
for that 20
Yeah,
years
push it
ago,
further.
for anyone who knew me back in uni then, and anyone who knows me now, I'm two different personalities.
You change every 10 years. Your personality,
different personalities.
Your makeup changes every 10
And
years.
when we were in secondary school, I was a different guy too.
Yeah.
I was someone else entirely. And I think that's the same thing with our friends, our partners, our loved ones, our
Life
family
generally,
members.
humanity.
People evolve, people change. And I feel that you should be held accountable
For the
your
here and now.
It
Yeah.
should always be what you do with the moment and not what you did in the past.
Yeah.
And that's why it doesn't matter, and you should not really make it a bait for you to go back to the past to find out, oh, so how did you live your life?
Oh.
No, the person you are meeting now is good
Gentlemen,
enough
gentlemen. Oh, unfortunately, or is it fortunately, we have to take a break here and let you guys in on the conversation with your hashtagged tweets or messages that you've sent in. The hashtag, once again, is hashtag the Black Table on TVC. Let's check out some of these messages after this break.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Etinosa Idemudia in the building.
Not be first to go police station, they win the case.
Is
So
she?
you are showing
No,
yourself.
I go see as my second
You are
question.
feeling like a contact the prancing peacock. I'm about to cut your wings. Hello. Now, in the amalgamation of 1914, who was the woman who drew the line of the amalgamation? Who cut the report? Who is the person that used scissors? What is his name?
That woman.
Yeah,
Dream.
you have done me dirty. I've marked your face. I've marked your face. If anything happened to me today,
I don't
if I
fear
don't
now.
reach my house. Anyway, I'm gonna be chauffeured, so
You remember now, Avi? Yeah, but you never too thin. Now you remember.
hey.
If a person who indulges habitually in watching a sexual material is called a voyeur,
That's what they're called.
it clearly say you don't go even get the next one.
Hey, a voyeur.
Voyeur.
Then go on. It's
What is a person who makes one
a
called?
voyeur. A voyagiste. A bon voyage.
Here, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw ether material slabbed, stroked, and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty. Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down.
Here on TVC, Mazino Peel, Mr. Jean-Luc, of course, Deck in Your Life, and Mr. Dauda. Now, let's go. We got your messages. Outlook.com, who's our very frequent texter, has texted in once again. Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to see your message. It says, hey, Mazito, my guy. Hey, what's going on? Please, wait in that girl they talk. Say women are not wired to pay bills. Make I know talk within them my mouth because wired call cable ni. Wired cable. Still, I think Outlook women are definitely not wired to pay bills. Personally, that's the way I prefer it. I'm not saying that I spend on women. I spend on my wife. I spend on my daughter. I prefer it that way, and I keep it that way. And sometimes maybe I extend that generosity to other women, only very legally.
May I remind you that...
With no strings attached.
May I remind you guys that the poverty alleviation scheme has been cancelled ever since subsidy was taken away.
As in,
Every transfer now, they take money
now,
for it.
man.
My brother.
It's crazy.
But you to go out with a lady now. You're a wealthy man.
Yeah,
not
very,
rich.
very
If you're not rich, you are a
if you
wealthy
even
man.
drive to her house,
Drive. Yeah. You can't drive to her. You should come and meet me.
Wow. Okay. At Susan says, may I tell my husband to cheat on me? Ooh.
Is the expectation that he should?
Is this for real? Are you serious, Susan? Susan, please send us another message. Susan.
Susan, let the married men breathe.
You have liver.
I want to be sure. She says, she goes on, his sex drive is too high, and I cannot come and kill myself.
So that's
She
so
continues,
that's another excuse.
go out to beg, use a condom, Sha. I know it's wrong, but I love my heart and peace of mind. She says, I cannot keep up, so you keep out.
So that's one out of many. All right. Some people feel like people have very high sex drives, and they feel like, look, I can't keep up. All right. And they allow them to do all.
So are you with
that's
it?
an agreement between
I feel
both
if it's
parties.
a marriage, you should find a way to meet halfway.
Nothing
is
she
perfect.
said, is it your own?
Wait.
Is it your own?
Dick, I feel there are also men in that situation whereby their libido might not be as high as
their
wives.
There is no such thing.
Never.
No, there are men.
No, there are men like that.
There are several men like
There are
that.
men like
Like
that.
they
What
don't
of
have
older men?
They don't have
And young
as
ladies.
you-
Go like 30 minutes. And then you now see her like, I'm tired, get off me. Or, I'm not doing again. Or before I knew it, that's when that rubbish now.
So you're a
that's an
1-minute man.
excuse.
So
No.
That's a reason.
I don't
to
want to see how many minutes I am.
my point is, you have to meet your husband
Halfway, huh?
And if it's the other way around, that's
Yeah.
why there are medical alternatives to these things.
Yeah.
If the man needs to meet up with
Medical
your sex
alternative.
drive-
That's
let me
why
ask
people
you a
die in
question.
bed. Though. Don't go about do medical
Let me ask
alternative.
you a
Please,
Let me ask you a question. There are some
Careful.
people who find it appealing to see their spouses doing it with other people.
Them freaks.
Oh yeah, voyeurs.
So you need
Voyeurs.
to
Actually, they
understand
like
that people have
watching.
different.
Yeah, boundaries. The moment things like that come into it, just know that it's not gonna last.
We are going to
Okay.
work within a
Okay.
certain
Okay.
field
You
and
take it to
shield
the field.
ourselves.
Feminist chick here says, like the name by the way, do you men realize that according to statistics, there are more female breadwinners now? Oh, talking about that one. With that statistics, how can you still say women are not wired to pay bills?
Thank you.
'Cause they're saving all of the money.
Thank you.
They're
That's
not-
what I
they're still
said.
spending
Women
the money.
spend as well.
See,
That's what I said.
The way I see it, I feel the modern day woman, when it comes to finances, they are very wise. And that's why I wasn't comfortable with that statement that women are wired
Not to spend.
not to spend. yes, they might not be spending that money there and then. They're putting it away for better use.
Really?
That happens a lot. A lot of men can attest to this. Like
But
when I
agree
say
with
better
you.
use, when
I
I say
would like
better
to think that the
use,
direction that she was coming from.
they might not be burning the money there and
agree with
then,
you.
but they're putting it into. I mean, there are lots of men
You know,
that they're
no,
why
hang
and
on.
build them out
Wait, the direction
financially.
is this podcast that was coming from was
Yeah.
not that she was keeping money for her husband. She just wants to go out and have
That
fun.
one
and
was saying
spend
she
her
was
fun.
saying of parts.
That's what I said. That
was
is
rubbish.
not saying.
I don't
what
think she was representing women.
No. She
Should I
was
bust
saying
your
it
head?
to represent herself.
Should I
Yeah.
bust your head?
Yeah,
That's
You know,
all,
as a guy, yeah.
That
What?
I'm not wired
As a guy,
to
right?
spend.
Your thoughts what you're acting out, your role and everything. What you're telling her is, I'm sacrificing for you, right? So technically, you should be wiser than me.
Let's move on now,
Wisdom.
real quick. Jean-Luc, I will risk asking you to give us just the tip for tonight.
No, I
It's a
want to
big
sleep at
risk,
home.
but I will. Yeah, I know.
Don't worry,
Zayn here
just the
says,
tip.
my wife knows nothing about my past. When she asked me, I said, do you want to marry my past or do you want to marry me?
True.
Word.
True talk.
Odogu.
Word.
Wisdom.
Word.
Men.
Wisdom.
Do you want the boy? Do you want the boy I was? or
Those
the
are
man
men
I have
am.
Those
become?
are men.
Zeno, that is
My
spot
brother,
on.
those are men that have done things.
Exactly.
Those are men that have tasted. No,
Why
they have-
ruin a good thing by going
They
to
have
the past?
entered into the water.
Those are men that their middle name is Genge.
Frankly, you see this line?
Action guy.
This line is saved here
Action
now.
guy.
Because that
Ambassador.
babe, once I propose to that babe, I'll tell her.
All right, Zayn, we are
That's what
going
I
to award you tonight the position of Idan.
He done. Yes.
Thank you very much. Final message here from Damilola says, for me, if my husband says one past, I reveal one. If he says another one, I reveal another one. So we both know the same amount
just-
of
Is it
about
card
that.
you're playing?
each
Is it card
other.
you're playing?
Nobody
We are
should
going to
kill
give
me.
ourselves
Eric.
one card.
It was tit for tat.
It's tit for tat.
You
If
know,
you release,
general
I release.
markets.
If you release, I
You know, two
release.
big twos.
Pick two, pick two.
If you come, I come.
Deck.
You know, I hate you right now because that's where.
Listen. Let's put a bow in it and pin it up until next week. Let's leave things where they are, but not without your tip of the week. Allow me,
Okay.
please, might we remind you that you do need to go home tonight.
Yes,
we cannot
I
call.
want to go
We
home.
can't call
I
Madam
want
and
to
beg him
go.
that
You
it
will
was just
reach
a
home.
I
show.
want to go home. I really want
Please,
to go
so
tonight.
be careful. Everybody's
Okay.
greasing their teeth now,
So
holding
for
back.
just the tip today, I'm just going to keep it simple. Only a woman knows when she comes.
Already?
I heard that someplace last week. Somebody said that.
So my point is this, yeah? There's so much we would not know about one another, no matter how close you feel you're with an individual. But it's about living for the moment, making the right choices at those moments, and appreciating those moments. Life is like, you know, taking pictures. Cherish those moments, build on those moments, and then evolve. That's simple.
Bakam.
Ground forces to allow they please pull out. Thank you very much, lovely. Mr. Deck, thank you very much.
Thanks for having
As we say here, everybody needs a deck in their life. Mr. Jean-Luc with the honest opinion here. Thankfully, tonight he is going to be going home. Dauda has no restrictions, nothing holding him back, so you can catch him at the next strip
And
club.
he doesn't have to pull out.
Don't worry. I'll make sure it's long strokes.
Make sure that you always strap up. Strap up.
As you know, they tell me where they come. I won't tell you where I'm going to.
Come on.
I'm the only good person here.
Me? Very holy.
I remain
Holy
your
man.
humble host, your very good boy number one.
Good boy.
Thank you very
Good boy.
much for watching. Catch you guys
He's a
again
bad
next
boy.
week, Friday.
Good boy, little pig.
Let them keep talking in the background. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say good night, or is it good morning? Bye-bye now.
What's cracking like morning, Base Fam. Your #1 music and lifestyle channel, MTV Base, is coming on TVC on Saturday, the 1st of April from 10:30 to 11:30 p.m. Catch us Mondays to Friday from 9 to 10 p.m., Saturdays and Sundays from 10:30 to 11:30 p.m. Make sure you don't